Logitech's G series of keyboards have been nothing short of spaceship-esque to this point, perhaps aside from the much-loved G710 that led the way some time ago. You can't help but immediately notice that in terms of aesthetics, the new G810 Orion Spectrum has gone back to basic shapes, offering a simple and straightforward rectangular design. Fear not, however, as suggested by the Spectrum moniker, this mechanical keyboard stays true to its gaming heart and offers full, individually backlit RGB lighting. Phew. Last year, we were introduced to Logitech's own Roma G switches with the G810 Orion Spark, and I quite liked them. The 25% faster actuation was detectable, and I did like the tactile feedback that they provided. Having said that, I'm very accustomed to Cherry MX Blue switches, which do offer a much more snappy and clicky type of feedback, quite different to the Roma Gs. The softer Roma G switches are certainly a lot quieter, that's for sure. With the wealth of mechanical switches available today, it really comes down to personal preference. No switch is objectively better than another in my opinion. Personally, Cherry MX Blues are still my favourite. I love that over-the-top tactile and oral feedback on every keystroke. Now, as I mentioned, the G810 forgoes the extravagant geometry of its predecessors, and it's a nice refreshing change. With a design that reminds me quite a lot of the Corsair Strafe, the Orion Spectrum offers a much more elegant and stylish appearance that can fit into an office setting as well as a LAN party. The G810 wastes no space either. While it does include the 10-key numpad and a few media buttons, the key layout presses right up to each edge aside from the top, and there's no wrist rest included. I'm a big fan of a nice big removable wrist rest, so this would have been a welcome inclusion, but Logitech have clearly gone for a space-efficient design this time around, and it's come off nicely. Keeping with this space-efficient theme, the G810 spares the inclusion of any dedicated macro keys, although it does include a Windows lock key, backlighting toggle, and media keys, including a nice wide volume wheel, which allows accurate, no-look, and single-handed volume adjustment on the fly. Rounding out the face of the keyboard is a sleek backlit Logitech G logo at the top left corner. On the bottom, we've got some nice diagonal contours that you'll basically never see, but then also something pretty nifty. The little keyboard legs have 3 different heights you can set the keyboard to, as well as a flat option, so you can tweak this to your personal preference. The G810 is of course managed by the well-polished and powerful Logitech gaming software. Within, you can create profiles for different games and applications, create all kinds of RGB lighting patterns and effects, reprogram specific keys, and much more. The lighting options are nice and easy to mess around with, and if you're like me, you don't want to sit there for 10 hours creating your own fancy pattern. Just give me some cool presets and let me choose one. This is certainly a strength of the Logitech gaming software, and you can have waves of rainbows gliding across your keys in moments. The software will also scan for installed games in your system and can offer predefined lighting profiles for each one. Pretty nifty. This makes it super easy to customize profiles for each game too. Performance-wise, the G810 does everything it's supposed to do. The keys are of course super responsive, and the faster actuation does feel nice under the finger. I really think your performance on a keyboard is going to have a lot to do with how much practice you've had and how many hours you put in with those specific switches. But the G810 and Roma Gs aren't lacking in any area. If you aren't someone that relies on having extra dedicated macro keys, then you can build a very good relationship with the Orion Spectrum over time. Overall, I really like the G810 Orion Spectrum. Its sleek, flat form in particular appeals to me over Logitech's previous offerings, and I can see this keyboard being a popular choice for the more mature gamer for this reason. The Logitech gaming software is again a strength, and although they aren't my absolute favourite, I'm a fan of the Roma G switches and they're a nice change to use for 5 or so days. The G810 won't be taking over as my daily driver because I'm big on wrist rests and find the passed over USB pass-through very useful. However, I can say the G810 is a very nice solution. I would have no trouble recommending it at all. At $159 USD or $219 dues, it's a little pricey for its feature set in my opinion, but gamers are getting used to these kinds of prices. Or are they? Perhaps Logitech will be forced to become more aggressive on pricing over the coming weeks. It really depends on how much gamers gobble these things up. So is the G810 a keyboard you'll be considering? What's your favourite Logitech gaming keyboard? Let me know in the poll, and if you've got any questions at all, then please hit me up in the comments or in our forum at hardwareunboxed.com. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.